our professional standard, even if you are carrying a gun. Welcome to Online Dynamics Limited. We appreciate your time and please take your seat. It will be weak. Am I correct?
Welcome to Online Dynamics Limited, delivering structured migration and professional travel support services. In this training, we will be exploring Corporate Public Relations Training Framework. Let's get started.
Public relations, as it affects Online Dynamics Limited, BSB International, and of course, Stallion Sterling Law Firm.
Module 1, Corporate Image, Brand Identity and Public Trust. Objective: to ensure every staff member understands that they are a public representative of the brand, not a private individual during work interactions. Core training content: meaning of corporate public relation in professional services. Why perception equals credibility. Difference between personal opinion and corporate voice. The cost of reputational damage in legal practice, migration advisory, travel consulting, international business facilitation. Brand application. First, Online Dynamics Limited. Trust is built through measured promises, procedural clarity and professionalism. BSB International. Image reflects global exposure, order and seriousness of purpose. Stallion Sterling Law Firm. Image reflects authority, restraint, confidentiality and ethical balance. Practice exercise. Client sees you for 5 minutes. What impression do they leave with?
Module 2, Professional Communication and Client-Facing Etiquette. Objective: to standardize how staff speak, write, listen, and respond across all touch points. Core training content: professional tone versus casual speech, verbal discipline, no exaggeration, no assumptions, no guarantees without authority. Written communication standards: emails, WhatsApp, letters, official responses, telephone and virtual meeting etiquette. Sector specific rules: legal, never speculate, never advise outside mandate. Migration / travel: never promise outcomes controlled by third parties. Consulting: never over commit beyond scope. Practice drill: converting emotional client questions into professional responses.
Module 2, Reputation Management and Risk Awareness. Objective: to train staff to protect the brand even under pressure. Core training content: what constitutes reputational risk, loose talk, social media misconduct, inconsistent information, internal conflicts, leaking externally, handling angry clients, delays, rejection, compliance, escalation protocol, when to stop talking and escalate. Brand application: Online Dynamics Limited. Visa refusal handled with clarity, not blame. BSB International. International partners treated with protocol awareness. Stallion Sterling Law Firm. Absolute confidentiality, no informal disclosure. Case study: one careless sentence that cost a firm millions.
Module 4,
Go on.
Internal Public Relations and Team Conduct. Objective: to ensure internal behavior reflects external brand promises. Core training content: respectful internal communication,
Can you be loud, please?
chain of authority and reporting lines, professional disagreement versus insubordination, internal gossip as a PR threat, dressing, posture, punctuality as PR tool, brand culture alignment, online dynamics, order, clarity, global mindset. BSB International, collaboration, diplomacy, exposure. Stallion Sterling, precision, calmness, ethical restraint.
Module 5, Digital Presence and Social Media Conduct. Objective: to regulate how staff represent the brand online and offline. Core training content: personal versus corporate social media boundaries, what staff may not post, client information, case details, internal disputes, misleading success claims, responding to online inquiries professionally, forwarding leads without freelancing. Then brand specific notes, the legal online statements may have legal consequences. Slash travel, screenshots travel, accuracy is non-negotiable.
Negotiable.
Is non-negotiable. Consulting, thought leadership must be approved.
Module 6. Client experience and relationship management. Objective: to ensure every client interaction reinforces confidence, respect, and trust. Core training content: first contact protocol, managing expectations honestly, professional follow-ups, handling delays and bad news, closing interactions with dignity. Practical standard: clients may forget your price, but never forget how you made them feel.
Module 7. Crisis communication and incident response. Objective: to prepare staff for unexpected issues without panic or exposure. Core training content: what constitutes a crisis, who speaks and who does not, approve holding statements, documentation discipline, post-incident reputation recovery, simulation, visa refusal backlash, legal client disputes, international partner misunderstanding, assessment and implementation structure, training format, induction module mandatory, annual refresher, scenario-based assessments, supervisor observation checklist, certification, corporate public relations compliance, professional services.
If you look at what we have read so far, you realize that it is very simple on the face of it, but it is very profound also. So I will try to break it down as we all have a rough idea of what we are talking about. Let me also say that this will lead to certification. So attached to it is the assessment. So there's an assessment attached to it. Is it on the platform too? Please send the assessment questions on the platform. We are going to take it along with the assessment we have on Monday. Now this assessment is both MCQ and is also scenario based. So practice the question. We can discuss it if we have the time. Otherwise, you will be assessed on it. Not everybody may qualify as a PR person for the company because it's a skill. It's a skill that we need to acquire, and only those who are able to acquire it will be able to perform that duty. But essentially, all of us must be PR for the organization. All of us must be PR agents of the organization. Whichever organization we represent, whether you represent the law firm or the travel and migration firm, you must represent it well, and that is the essence of this training. So it is measurable. We are interested in your compliance with this particular training. So let's go back and look at module 1, corporate image, brand identity, and public trust. Trust is engineered. Trust is never a matter of course. People won't just trust you. Even in personal and intrapersonal relationship, people will not just trust you. Blind trust is a recipe for disappointment. Anytime you trust somebody without proof, you are just getting yourself ready for disappointment. And so the prospect, the client, the public, they understand this. So they won't just trust you. In fact, they are coming to you with a doubtful mind. It is our job to build trust and sustain it. Don't think because somebody has come to you, the client has come to you, you already trust you. No, he didn't. He doesn't trust you. It is your duty to build trust. And how do we do that? Our corporate image, brand identity. I'm giving us examples severally. If you put a bottle of Pepsi here now, without thinking twice, I open it, I will drink. Why? I trust the brand. I trust that brand. So anywhere I see Pepsi, I can drink. But pour Pepsi in another bottle, I may not want to drink it because I will not trust the brand. You can see brand is very important. And like I've mentioned earlier, as a part of the organization, you are the most important brand for the organization. You must understand that you represent the organization, the brand. You are not a private individual during work hours. So you don't do what you like, you don't do what is convenient, you don't do what you feel like doing, you do what is expected of the brand. You do what is expected of the brand. You are at your table, I just feel like lying down. You cannot. The brand does not allow you to lie down while you are at your table. You don't rest your head on the table while you are at your table. That is what the brand requires. You are not a private person. Whether you are in uniform or you are not in uniform, anywhere you are, whether you are even in the office or outside the office, anytime, if you are representing the organization, you are representing the company, you are a brand ambassador. You are no longer a private person. That's very important. Anytime you are in contact with prospects, you are in contact with clients, you are in contact with the public on behalf of the organization, you must act in accordance with the expectation people have of your brand. So we'll be looking at how to understand the meaning of public relations in our professional services. We will also look at why perception equals credibility. If anybody walks in here now and they say spot a youth corper, who do you think he will pick? Who will he pick? Talk now. I mean, who? Why? Perception. You will have to be explaining that I'm also a youth corper. It's only because today is not my CDS. He has gone. They say go and give a youth corper 50,000 naira. I will just come in here and drop it for Charles and go away. Perception is credibility. Perception is credibility. You understand why most ladies want to dress up and make up? Why? Perception. There is an image she wants to present to the suitor. A bride will not just dress anyhow. A lady looking for a suitor will not just dress anyhow. The kind of man you are going to attract will depend greatly on the personality you portray, on the image of yourself that you give out. The same thing for the organization. Perception is very important. You must understand the difference between personal opinion and corporate voice. Your personal opinion and corporate voice are two different things. We need your personal opinion at meetings for internal workings. Yes, we need your personal opinion internally, not publicly. What you must portray, what you must give out publicly is what? Corporate voice. Are we following? We all have the material. What you must give out publicly is corporate voice, not your personal opinion. But at meetings like this, at trainings like this, yes, voice your personal thinking. Let us be able to moderate it, look into it, consider it. Maybe it can form part of the corporate voice. But to the public, your personal opinion is not needed. What you must speak to the public is what? I can't hear. I cannot hear. Corporate voice, that's important. We must also understand the cost of reputational damage in legal practice. Izuna, in legal practice, reputation matters. It goes a long way. The courts are observing. Don't think the courts are not aware. They are observing you as a legal practitioner, your conduct, the way you dress, the way you address the court, the way you interact with fellow lawyers, the way you even interact with your clients in the face of the court. And they are also observing the chamber. They have all the records on their table and they are observing. They are taking note. The public is also observing. This law firm, what do they stand for? Do they just want to take our money? Do they even know the law? Are they even rendering the services? Are they agile? And one of the important things about stallion sterlings is agility. If you know the animal called stallion, what can you ascribe to that animal? Action, activity, agility. You don't allow anything to wait. I was looking at the post you made concerning the custodians, and somebody was saying, oh, don't worry, it's no big deal, we will observe, we will do it before. No, you have a problem on your hand, address it immediately, let it go to rest. You know why? You can only improve on it if you have done something on it today. If you look at it again tomorrow when you have the time, you will improve on it. Am I correct? But if it's the day you are going to court that you have to address it, you will only do the bare rest. That is the way it is. I don't believe in that. I believe that you have to look at it. The problem is on our table. Let's research it immediately. What is the law saying about this? It can only get matured over time. We look at it. We have written something. I don't know how many of you have had to do that before. You wrote something. Then when you are sleeping, you are thinking about what you wrote yesterday. And you wake up and you pick it and say, let me rewrite this. Has that happened to you before? That's the way it is. Thoughts mature over time. So you need to understand what do we stand for, because our reputation is very important. And once the reputation is damaged, you have to consider what is the cost. Before you become careless about the reputation of the organization, you have to consider the cost, whether in legal practice, in migration advisory, in travel consulting, in international business facilitation. We must consider the cost of our reputation before we act. Brand application for online dynamics. Trust is number one, and you can equate trust with credibility, and that is measured, that is built rather through measured promises, not vague promises, not superfluous promises. You don't overpromise on any process. Procedural clarity. People want to know what is the procedure to follow. Procedural clarity and your professionalism. How do you feel after you have attended to a client or a prospect who just registered, and then the next thing an officer will say is, what do you bring for us? Won't you give us something? Is that professional? Is that professional? You have destroyed the reputation of the organization. You have. Or immediately you meet somebody that you feel, oh, he has some influence. The next thing you want to discuss is that I'm a youth corps. I will be finishing next month. I'll be looking for a job. Oh. Is that why he has come to this place? That's not why he has come to this place. That is not professional. If you are professional, you won't have a problem getting appointments. That's the truth. Because people can sense it. If you are professional in your approach, you will stand out amongst your peers. All this knowledge will reflect on you, and there will be a difference. People will just see the difference the moment they see you. Go for interview with 200 people, even 2,000 people, you will still stand out because you have built yourself. We have talked about that before. When you beat yourself for attraction, you achieve more than when you are chasing attraction. Don't chase value. Build yourself to attract value. That will help. And how do you do that? Be professional. For BSB International, image reflects global exposure. So when you are approaching a prospect, you are talking to somebody about China, April 2026. You must have a touch of exposure in yourself. Do you have to go to China before you have that exposure? No. Why not study about China? Find out some information about the Canton Fair. If you have to discuss it with the client, speak from the angle of knowledge. You are telling somebody about opportunity to study abroad. Do you even know the importance of studying abroad? Have you looked at the essence yourself? If you have to market it, or must you go abroad to study before you can market it? Not at all. Must a doctor or a surgeon go under knife to prove his efficacy in surgery? No. He will study about it. He will find out about the human body. If you understand the drug, the anesthesia they are going to use, the procedure. So you need to be able to represent whatever brand that is on your hand. That's very important. The image must reflect orderliness and seriousness of purpose. Seriousness of purpose. The moment you are on duty, forget your age. Once you are on duty, your age is adult. Your age is what? Adult. Whether you are 20 or you are 50, it does not matter. You are an adult. And what is expected of an adult? Adult seriousness. Seriousness that is expected of an adult is expected of you. And for stallion stellings, we are looking at brand application. What you must be looking at: authority. Law is authority. Restraint, caution, confidentiality, and ethical balance. Those are key important values that these organizations represent, and we must not miss them out. Each brand has its own values. Online Dynamics, can we all look at it again? For Online Dynamics, can we read what is essential as brand application? Yes. Can we take it again? Trust is built through measured promises. Promise only what can be delivered, what is within our control. Procedural clarity, explain the procedure. Let them be clear about what they are getting into, and then be professional. Everybody, you must be professional. Either you are for the legal firm or you are for BSB. Whatever product is on your hand, you must be professional. BSB International image must reflect global world exposure. That's why you cannot appear dirty and be telling somebody about come to London. You will say, that's important. There must be order, there must be seriousness of the purpose. They must see the seriousness in us. And of course, for the law firm, authority, restraint, confidentiality, and ethical balance. This is a practical exercise, and we can just discuss it. When the client sees you for 5 minutes, what impression have you created? You interact with the client for 5 minutes, what impression are they going with? The truth of the matter is, when people come in contact with you, they go away with an impression. And if you have not determined that impression, you have just given out a wrong impression. What did I say? I don't get that. When clients come in contact with you, they go away with an impression. And I'm using the word client loosely. It could be a prospect, it could be any member of the public. Don't forget, what we are treating here is corporate public relation. Public. Anybody that comes in contact with you is important. It could be law enforcement, it could be civil servant, fire, anybody. It could be a prospect, it could even be a friend. My uncle was in the office yesterday. He's a member of the public as far as this office is concerned. Now, when people come in contact with you, they go away with an impression. Anywhere you go, you meet somebody, he has formed an impression of you. And if you do not control that impression, you probably have given out a wrong impression. So you must be in control of the impression you want the public to have when they come in contact with you. When you have a first date, all of us can relate with that. You see a lady you like, you see a guy that you like, and then you have your first date. Do you just go casually? Hello, answer me now. Do you go casually? Do you go there casually, Timmy? You don't have a date before. Somebody should rescue this man. Somebody should rescue Timmy. Please, Shade, take him on a date. Just for the experiment. Take him on a date. You know? You don't go casually. You don't go. Do you go casually, Balkis? You don't go casually. Because what? You want to create an impression. I know guys that will save up. He will be lying to you. He's busy. No, he's broke. He will now save up for that date. Yes, he will tell you he's busy, he has traveled. It's because he has not gotten the money. He doesn't mind borrowing the money from somebody or wait for his salary or monthly payment, his salary, or take the money from his parents. In fact, some go as far as selling personal belongings. Because why? He wants to create an impression. He wants that date to be an impression maker. He wants the date to go away with an impression of him. So if you are not conscious about the impression you are creating, you probably have given out a wrong impression. And I will tell you why. Give an average human being two options, good and bad. What do you think he will pick? Is a lie. When it comes to impression, give people two options, good and bad impression. A normal human being will pick the bad impression. That is how the man's mind works. Even when you are beautiful, all made up as a lady, the mind of the man will say, he may be fake, maybe he's what do you call it now? Maybe it's BBL, or maybe it's all these artificial bots and stuff. Or he may say, you don't even know if his character is good. Doubt is a permanent resident in the mind of man. So how much more when you have not even taken time to address that impression? When people have no impression on you, they have a bad impression of you. That's the truth. When they have no impression of you, they have a bad impression of you. No impression means that will not be referrals, he will not recommend you for anything, he will not get back to you, he will not even think about you. That is bad. So when people come in contact with you, make sure that you are in control of the impression to be created from that contact. That is very important for us to note, and that is the practical exercise. So you must always think about it. When people meet you for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, what impression are they living with? And that starts from you determining what impression you want to give out. That Larry, if people come across you in 5 minutes, what impression do you want them to go away with?
Confidentiality.
That is one impression. What again?
Balance.
Balance. What do you mean by balance?
Like the communication and everything should be balanced. And clarity.
Clarity. Now, if you want them to go away with those three things, that is what to do. Am I correct? If you want somebody to go away with confidentiality, there is a way to endear confidentiality. You want him to trust you. That's what you mean. You want me to know that whatever I have told this man stays with this man. It is official information. That is important. Izuna, if somebody meets you for the first 5 minutes, what do you want them to go with?
Trust.
Trust, yes.
then clarity,
Clarity, yes.
and then
More importantly, for lawyers, authority.
authority.
Authority is very important, because you will not do anything without the backings of the law. And that's why when that issue came up, I said, let's look for the authority. What is the law saying about this? Okay, I presented the document before the court, I've filed it, I've served all parties. We have advanced arguments on the same document. Now it is time for written address, and the opponent is now coming to say, no, you did not move it on the floor of the court. Let's even assume, without conceding, the argument is that we moved it, because I was in court myself. But let's even assume, without conceding, that we did not move. Does it render that particular application useless? Yes. Let's see the authority, what the Supreme Court said about that. It must have happened before. And if not, then we pursue it. We can stay on that to Supreme Court, because we will take a ruling on that if the court does not agree with us. We will take a ruling on it. Our stand is, if you have advanced argument, that means the court has taken cognizance of that document. Otherwise, why are you giving evidence based on what is not before the court? Are you throwing away the whole body of evidence, wasting the time of the court? Because you are now, that's quite technical. She's doing a lawyer's work, I agree, and we are testing the law. Why not? We can proceed. If the law, if the court here says we are wrong, we go on appeal. If the appeal says we are wrong, we go to Supreme Court. If there is no precedent before, then we can set that precedent, and the law is maturing. The authority is one thing they must see in you as a lawyer. Anybody can say anything, anybody can argue anything, but the law is our guide. That is the authority with which we work. So if anybody come in contact with you at any point in time, there is an impression you must go with, and that is what gives them assurance. That is the image you are creating, and that is what we mean by public relations. It is not lying. It is not pretending to be what we are not. No, it is becoming what we actually are and portraying what we actually are the right way to the public. Public relation for us is not gloss, it's not makeup. No, it's not makeup. It is becoming what we should be, attracting the values that we must have, and communicating that same value effectively to the public. So they must know that you are going to Online Dynamics Limited, you are going to get only measured promises, meaning that whatever you are promised, you will get. We do not promise what we cannot give. Have you read the book you collected for me? You must have found that in it. So it's not something I'm just coming up with. That book was 2007, and that book is a product of series of trainings, not even in-house, on radio trainings that we compiled together. And in one of it, we mentioned that at Online Dynamics Limited, it doesn't matter how much you are bringing to us. What we promise you is what we can deliver. We do not promise what we cannot deliver. So your promise must be measured. Not because you feel, oh, this client will pay, or he has tipped you. You now begin to tell him what you cannot do. No. Procedural clarity, meaning that you also must understand the procedure. If you can't understand the procedure, will you be able to communicate it? Answer me, Fola. If you don't understand the procedure, can you communicate it? And that means what? You must understand the procedure. Am I correct, Ayo? You must do what? I cannot hear you.
Understand the procedure.
Thank you. And you must be professional. Being professional is the embodiment of your whole conduct during your interaction with the public. Your whole conduct. How do you sit? Do you know there is a way to sit professionally? There is a way to talk professionally. There is a way to dress professionally. There is a way to even carry yourself professionally. All those things matter. So let's look at Module 2. Any question on Module 1? Any contribution? Any interaction on that? We can just move on. Okay. Module 2. Professional communication and client-facing etiquette. How do you face the client? How do you communicate professionally? And how do you face the client? How do you communicate professionally? And how do you face the client? And we are using the word client loosely. Everybody is our client, potential client. Everybody is our potential client. There is nobody who cannot buy from us what we are selling. Am I correct? Am I correct? Yes, anybody will need a lawyer. Anybody will need migration expert. Anybody will need travel experts. So we are useful to everybody. So everybody you meet is a potential client. So how do you communicate with them? And how do you even face them? The objective of this module is to standardize how we speak, how we write, how we listen, and how we respond. Meaning that there shouldn't be any arbitrariness. If I meet Balkis, the way she has spoken with me, the same language, the same tone, the same approach is what I expect when I meet Matthew. Is what I expect when I meet Ola. There must be a standard. There must be what? There must be what?
Standard.
If any one of us here acts in a way that is fantastic, that we feel, oh, this is very good, we can incorporate it into our standard, and it becomes the standard for everybody to act as regards that particular issue. Other than that, we are expected to follow the standard in speaking, writing, listening, and responding. We'll be looking at professional tone versus casual speech. Professional tone versus casual speech. Who can explain what that means? Who can differentiate between a professional tone and casual speech? Fumilola, differentiate between professional tone and casual speech.
Professional tone is the way you communicate with the client or public professionally.
You are still using the word professional. Break down that professional tone. Yes.
Like if the organization says this is how we talk to the people, this is the way we should talk to the people in the manner that they will understand. So that means that we are talking to the public professionally, not just using your own language.
Casual. Another word for casual that may help us for the purpose of this training is careless. Careless. Do you understand? Carefree. Maybe the word careless is not appropriate. Carefree. Informal. Thank you. Informal. Casual. Informal. Carefree. Speech. Professional tone is calm. Is what? Is what? Calm. We have discussed that before. If you go back to your knowledge worker training, you will see it there. The front desk officers, you will see it in your own training also. Your tone must be what? Must be calm. In fact, almost a whisper. Almost a whisper. And how do you achieve that? After every question, every statement, before you respond, observe a 2-second pause. Observe a 2-second pause. Somebody came into the office and said, you are a stupid person. Your casual response will be to do what? Flare up immediately. How can you say that? That is not professional. Digest the information. Take a pause, and your response must be calm. Ola, how will you respond to that? You are at the front office and somebody just came, you are a stupid person, and is shouting. How will you respond? Don't give you a microphone, no. Yeah, how will you respond? Talk.
I will have to stay calm.
And then?
What have I done?
That's a response, and that's a very casual response. Very casual. Even if you are calm, that's a very casual. How will you respond?
I'll become them. I'll ask the client. I need to ask the client, please calm down.
That is still casual. That is still casual. That means that you want to say something. How will you respond? He just came into the office and you are there. I said, you, stupid you, blah, blah, blah. How will you respond? That is still casual. That's not professional. That's not professional. Nobody will get it on this table. Okay, I put 5,000 naira on the table. Whoever gets it, I will transfer now. Eh?
What's the problem? What is the issue? What's the reason why? I'm trying to understand.
That is still casual. Yes, I agree with the calmness, but that is still casual. Ayo, do you want to try? Well, is that our professional standard? Can I repeat the question? Somebody came into the office, front office, and the first thing he will do is, you are a stupid man. How will you blah blah blah? What will be your professional response? Please clap for Team Me. Our professional standard, even if you are carrying a gun. Welcome to Online Dynamics Limited. We appreciate your time and please take your seat. It will be weak. Am I correct? It will be confused. You are in control. At that point, at that very point, you have gained what? Control. He knows that you are not just here because you are a human being. You are here for a purpose and you know why you are. Welcome. That's the standard. You see anybody in the office, even if he has been in the office for 1 hour, but it's the first time you have seen that person, what do? You welcome that person. Prosperous have to know it will be weak. You are the determinant of the official energy, not the public. You are not a thermometer. I've said that before also. You are a thermostat. What do thermometers do? They just measure temperature. It will tell you this is the temperature. It will match it. A thermostat controls the temperature. Determines the temperature. It is your duty to control the mood, to determine the mood. That is our professional standard.
Thank you for watching this training module from Online Dynamics Limited. This module is part of our continuous learning framework designed to equip you with the knowledge and insight required for excellence. Please proceed to the next module to continue.